JFD, just fair and direct.
Okay, hello and welcome everyone. Welcome to JFD Traders Tea Time with me, Darius Anucauskas. Today is the 20th of July 2020, so yep, welcome everyone. Welcome to this Monday's afternoon session where we're going to have a quick look at the markets, a few of the charts, the usual stuff, some of the charts that we looked at this morning just to see how everything's kind of getting along. But yeah, before we do that, as always, let's quickly have a read through our risk disclaimer. So, the content we produce does not constitute investment advice or investment recommendation, should not be considered as such, and does not in any way constitute an invitation to acquire any financial instrument or product. As always, a few seconds for you to read the rest and we can continue. Okay, so also just before we jump into the charts, quick mentioning of our JFD YouTube channel, to which you can always subscribe to in order not to miss any of our upcoming videos, and of course our JFD Bank website and specifically our JFD research page, which we also update on a daily basis. So yeah, feel free to visit us here on jfdbank.com and click on the research tab right there on the top. Now, jumping into the charts, quick update here on the German DAX. Now this morning I talked about this one, and what I was saying that in a way one of the scenarios that was that if this index drifts lower and drops below the 12,773 territory, then yes, we could consider maybe a bit of a larger correction to the downside. Now, we could have considered that, but as you can see, we didn't get that drop below this 12,773, and the index reversed to the upside. And this is also what I was saying, that if we get this reversal earlier and the move above the 12,913 zone, which is the highest point of June, then yes, of course, keep your eyes on some of these higher levels. Like one of the good potential targets here could be that 13,236 territory marked by the high of the 24th of February. Now, right now, at the moment, the index is trying to make its way higher. However, it's kind of getting a hold up near that psychological 13,000 level, and of course, don't get me wrong, if we do see a daily close here above this 12,913 territory, then it kind of increases the chances for this one to move further north. And as I said, keep your eyes on today's close, and yep, keep your eyes on this first, one of our first key resistance levels near the 13,236. Slightly above that, we do have another good area of resistance, which is marked by the low of the 21st of February, and that's roughly around the 13,500 zone. But again, let's not probably get ahead of ourselves. First, now let's see if the index manages to stay above this 12,913 territory. If it does, then yes, like I said, we'll aim for some higher levels. Jumping into NASDAQ 100 now, this index closed on Friday slightly in the positive territory. However, overall it ended the week in the red due to Monday's kind of sharp decline. Now, if we look at the cash index and where it's currently trading at, the price is currently balancing near the 10,681 zone, so basically slightly above the level of where it closed on Friday. So again, what I was saying last week as well, that in a way for us to get maybe a little bit more excited about some higher levels and potentially maybe considering even a move back to the all-time high near the 11,069 zone, we would prefer to maybe wait for a push above the high of the 10th of July here, which is around the 10,843 territory. This level, by the way, was the not last week's, but the week before that. It was the highest point of that week. So basically, a nice good push above that could in a way help more buyers join in here and push the price a little bit higher. So keep your eyes on this one. Again, for now, looking at the cash index, we can see that the price is slightly on the higher side, so we'll get a nice opening gap here to the upside, small one, but nevertheless an opening gap to the upside. So keep your eyes on that one. If by any chance this suddenly reverses sharply to the downside, don't get me wrong, the bulls still have a chance to step in here near this upside support line taken from the low of the 23rd of March. Now don't get me wrong, I mean maybe this upside line is a little bit of on the tentative side. However, it kind of is not far from this 21-day EMA, which kind of, as you can see, continues to provide decent support. So basically that's why, considering this little area right here, if we do get a move towards it, as a potential area of support where the bulls could jump in again. But again, for now, the index seems to be showing willingness to move higher already. But again, it does have a lot of obstacles to overcome here, especially, as I said, this 10,843 territory. And now gold, quick update here. So gold has pushed higher this morning. I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this kind of little range here where gold is kind of currently stuck in, and that's roughly between the 1796 territory and the 1818 level. So as you can see, the commodity managed to drift a little bit higher, test the upper side of the range. However, it's still kind of struggling to overcome it. Now first of all let me get rid of this upside line, because we no longer need that one. Now the main focus will fall on this range here, roughly, as I said, roughly between the 1796 territory. And let me just quickly mark this one on the chart, and the 1818 level here on the upside. So let me just drag this one a little bit like this. So not ideal, but nevertheless it will do. So yeah, basically, long story short, we need to see a clear break out of this range first before considering the next potential directional move. However, ideally we would also like to see maybe a daily candle kind of closing either above this 1818 level or dropping and closing below this 1796 territory, because what we don't want to see here is a false breakout as we had here, for example, on the 14th of July. And it drifted lower. It showed willingness to kind of move lower. However, the bulls managed to quickly by the end of the day managed to push the price back inside this range. So that's why, again, until we get this break, guys, through one of the sides of the range, we're not really doing anything here. Of course, it's closer to the upper bound. However, wait for that confirmation break. DXY, now the dollar index, I've talked about this one last week, and I was telling you guys to keep a close eye on this barrier, this support zone near the 95.72 territory, which is the lowest point of June. And you can see it continues to provide decent support. Now, of course, on one hand, we do have an instrument which is still trading below the downside line taken from the high of the 23rd of March. On the other hand, there is we have this index is still struggling with this level, with the lowest point of June near the 95.72. We need to see a clear drop below it in order to kind of aim for some lower levels. Of course, don't get the similar story as with gold. We would like to see a nice daily close below this as well in order to kind of aim for the lowest point of March near the 94.65 zone. So keep your eyes on that one. Jumping into Ripple, quick update here. To be honest, not much happening. So basically just this is just a quick update. After it kind of drifted higher, it found resistance near this 200-day EMA, but then reversed to the downside, and as you can see, this downside line taken from the high of the 30th of April really acted as a nice area of support from where the crypto managed to rebound a few times, and is now kind of back above this 108-day EMA and the 21-day EMA. And previously I talked about this scenario where I was saying that in a way there is a possibility for this one to drift lower, to correct a little bit lower, and then move higher. However, as you can see, again, this idea is still kind of in play because we are still moving kind of well, a slight decline, I would say. I mean, although it's a little bit more, it's still sideways somewhat, but there is a small decline here. So in a way, we could consider this as a potential flag pattern, but again, it is a little bit of a difficult one. It might kind of drag for I don't know, for a few days still. So unless something comes out in the news that could drive this, that could drive the crypto world. But again, for now, it's one of the let's say slightly boring sectors to be in, because there's not much kind of happening unless you're a scalper here and you're enjoying these little kind of swings here, little drops and rises, and you're picking up on that. But again, everybody finds what's kind of more attractive and convenient for them. So AUDJPY, now this one's quite an interesting one. So of course the pair continues to trade above this short-term upside support line taken from the low the 2nd of April here, and in a way it continues to show that it's forming these higher lows, but as you can see, it still is struggling with this 75.16 level, which is the current, well, I wouldn't actually say the current highest point of July, because this was the high of the 6th of July, and since then kind of this level, yes, the pair does overshoot it, but doesn't really kind of end the daily candle above it. So we would like to see the daily candle staying above this barrier before, let's say, aiming for the highest point of June here near the 76.79 level. So keep your eyes on down. In terms of the downside, if this upside line breaks and we see a drop below the 21-day EMA, of course this increases the chances for a possible slide. However, just to be on the safe side, a drop below the 73.99 territory, somewhere around here, could do the trick for more sellers. USD/CHF. Now this one's quite interesting, and at the same time it's very messy, but let me just remove all the drawings here, because again, let's have a fresh look at this, and we can see that yes, the pair is still trading below some of its downside lines here. So one of the downside lines is here, taken from the high of the 23rd of March. So in a way, the overall trend is still to the downside. However, we'll be very careful and go step by step on this one. So for now, for example, if in order to aim for some lower levels, we would like to see a drop below this 0.9362 territory, where, as you can see, today the pair found good support and rebounded from. So basically, if we do get a nice strong move below this, this would confirm a forthcoming lower low, and more sellers could be joining in here and potentially leading the pair towards the 0.9322 level, or they could even go further and drive this one towards the lowest point of March here near the 0.9184. But again, let's not get ahead of ourselves. First, let's see if we can actually see a drop below this 0.9362 territory. If we can, wonderful for the bears, and further declines could be possible, at least towards the 0.9322, and yep, we'll take it from there. In terms of the upside here, we would prefer to wait for a push above the this little high, the 0.9468 territory, in order to kind of aim for some higher levels. But again, as you can see here, the upside might get limited near this downside line. GBPUSD. Now this is what I've talked about this morning, and what I was saying, that in a way for now we will we'll remain careful here, and in order to aim for some higher levels, for example, we will wait for at least for a push above the current highest point of July near the 1.2669 zone. As you can see, the pair is kind of getting closer to that level right now, but we cannot really do anything yet because we would like to see a break above that level first, as I said before, kind of considering some higher levels, at least up until the at least up until 1.2813 level. So yep, again guys, for now be very careful until it's kind of stuck in this little territory right here. We'll remain neutral and just continue observing the price action. And finally, EURUSD. So the pair is retracing back down, and let's see where this day is going to end, because at the moment you can see that the bears are kind of really trying hard to get this one back up below the June high, which is around the 1.1422. If we do get such a move, such a day, we do get this daily candle staying below this, then, well, I mean, maybe we could see a bit of a correction earlier, because initially I was kind of aiming still for this 1.1496 territory, which is the highest point of March. But if this candle stays below this 1.1422 territory today, then, well, maybe not everything is that well in the bull block, and we could see maybe this one, like I said, correcting to the downside towards this upside support line taken from the low, the 14th of May. For now, be very careful, guys, and let's see how this day is going to end. But if we do see it stay above this barrier, above the June high, then still the 1.1496 level is on the table, and we'll aim for that one. So guys, I really hope you found it useful, and thank you very much for joining in and watching until the end. I really appreciate your time. So like I said, I hope you found it useful. So if you want to catch my video tomorrow morning, as always, my traders espresso 6 o'clock GMT time. But for now, I hope you have a beautiful evening, guys, and I'll see you later. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.